joining me on Can Do FM this afternoon. We have Simon Fell. Now, we've got some good news in Barrow, haven't we, Simon? £750,000 as part of the Towns Deal funding bid, which is coming down from central government, I believe.
That's right, yeah, and it's the first part of what I hope will be the best part of £30 million coming into central Barrow, which will completely transform the centre of town. So, those projects are bringing things like a university campus in, getting the Marina Village development up and running, improving our cycling and walking infrastructure. So, we could see really big changes if we win the full bid.
So just to clarify then, does that mean that Barrow has been successful in that bid and we are going to be seeing £30 million invested in the town?
No, the bid's still in, so we're still waiting for a final decision on that. But the government decided, because of COVID, because it's the environment is quite difficult at the moment, they've drawn down some of the money from that to towns who've put bids in for the town deal. And Barrow was one of the first ones to get their bid in. We went early. We've got a particularly strong bid, I think. I and the local councillors and BAE Systems, it's chaired by Steve Cole from BAE Systems, have put together something that's, I think, really quite compelling for how it will bring Barrow forwards.
Okay. How do you think this money is going to be spent then?
So this money is all about getting the ground ready for the rest of the bid. So it's going to be spent on things like buying properties in central Barrow, getting some remediation works in. So not the most exciting stuff, but stuff that needs to happen in order to lay the groundwork for those bigger developments.
Right, and then ultimately, we hope this is going to improve the quality of life for people living in Barrow. And do you think it will create jobs? Because at the moment, we're facing a pretty gloomy economic forecast, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I really hope so. So some of the developments in the wider bid itself are all around that. So, the technology campus, which is a real opportunity, would be a job creator. But also, one of the biggest challenges we have in not just Barrow, but wider Furness as well, is attracting and keeping young people in our area. Unfortunately, they like to move away. They go through schools and they go out to the bright lights of the big city somewhere else. Actually having that sort of further education facility on our doorstep will not only, hopefully make them stickier, for want of a better word, but it will bring in other things that will attract young people as well. So if we've got a campus, we're more likely to have activities that will entertain young people as well. So
absolutely,
it should hopefully lead to more economic development and more jobs.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a big fan of Rightmove myself. Do you like Rightmove? The site Rightmove. I don't know. I should have been an estate agent, I think. Should have been an estate agent. But I was looking at that earlier today, just out of interest, at the commercial property in Barrow. And I mean, it's dire reading. I mean, we talk about the centre of Barrow, Cavendish Street, Dalton Road, Duke Street, Cornwallis Street. 9 commercial properties up for sale at the moment. A further 4 properties are up for rent, and included in those some big retail spaces. We seem to be losing, commercial business out of the centre of Barrow hand over fist at the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to hold my hands up. This is a real challenge, and it's been a problem for a while. The high street has been changing. People shopping online, going to out of town shopping centres like Hollywood Park. But it's not helped by business rates, which are expensive, and they make it difficult for a business to establish themselves on the high street.
Yeah,
but there's a few landlords. Well, there's a few things which I hope will begin to turn that around. So last week, Barrow won £1.1 million to restore Duke Street, which is really exciting.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Barrow, we'll be able to get that back up to scratch and make it a place that people want to visit and see. And some of that's about restoring shop fronts, some of it's about getting housing above some of those shops. So we can begin to turn the corner there. But we've also got a bid in for the high street as well, which could be another good slug of money coming into town for getting the covered market turned around, making it bigger with a food hall and the ability for young businesses to start up and operate out of there. So we need to think slightly differently about the high street because my concern is, frankly, it's not going to go back to where it once was.
No.
So we need to think about a better way of getting people into town and making it more attractive. And I think we're walking in the right direction. We just need to be successful in some of these bids we put into central government.
Do you have any idea at the moment how this money is going to be managed? Is it going to be managed, from one central body, or is it going to be divided out into different with different groups?
There are a range of projects in the bid. So, I'm closer to the town deal than the High Street Fund and the historic High Street funding, which is the Duke Street piece. In that are several pieces of work which will be managed by the different organisations involved in those. So obviously University Campus, that will be university-led for the cycling and walking infrastructure improvements that are there. That would be best placed to be both the borough and the county council to run that. So it's going to be a real mix, but they'll be overseen by that board as well, with a good bit of private sector involvement.
It's just, I'm no expert on these things, but it sounds like a lot of money. There's all these different pots of money coming into the town, and all together it sounds like a tremendous amount of money. But I just worry that, perhaps if it gets split between different organisations, it's not as much money and it doesn't have the same impact if it's been, divided out into too many different pots.
So I take your point, but the whole point about these bids is to put in projects within them which are really well defined and written, so we know exactly how much money we need for project A, who's going to be running it, what it looks like, what it will deliver. So I hope those concerns won't raise their head a little bit later down, but they're going to be very well controlled and run. And I think genuinely transformative for Barrow. I'm really excited about what the place could look like in 3-4 years.
Yeah. That was my next question. Do we have a time span on this?
3-4 years, roughly. Fingers crossed. We're in a slightly difficult environment with COVID at the moment, so I don't take anything as written at the moment, but that's the plan at the moment.
Okay. Now I've got one final question for you. I don't know if you've seen online, but there's a petition that's been signed by, we're getting close to 700 people at the moment. There was 660 odd last time I looked, asking for Lord Walney or Lord Woodcock to drop the name Walney from his title. An opinion on that one?
Oh, I think John is never backwards in coming forwards. I think you should really be asking him about that.
Oh, you're getting good at this. Simon. Well done. Thank you for your time this afternoon. You're welcome on Can Do FM anytime. You've got time to spare for us in your busy life.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.